the whole journey, those 160 years, which is not easy, of course, because it represents 16 decades, and we wanted to have modern iteration of the actual collection. So those are the blue ceramic models, so each and every iconic chronograph from each and every collection. So we have 3 collection plus 1 this year. So this is what we have tried to create with these 4 watches. It really represents those 160 years. But in the watchmaking industry, it's very important to stay true to yourself, to your DNA, your values, your inner soul, I would say. Working for that brand along these 160 years. So even if, for example, myself, I'm almost 20 years in the company, but in reality, compared to the whole journey of the brand, it's nothing.
Part of it?
It's something like 17 or 18% of the whole life of the brand. The El Primero is a fantastic achievement for the brand, that's for sure. The El Primero is here since 1969, so 56 years ago it has been created and it's still here.
Yes.
So our role is to maintain this movement because it has been there since 56 years and it has to be there in 100 years.
สวัสดีครับยินดีต้อนรับเข้าสู่ Crazy Dial Channel ครับ160 ปีเป็นตัวเลขแห่งประวัติศาสตร์ของแบรนด์ที่คิดค้นกลไกแห่งตำนานและวันนี้ก็เป็นโอกาสพิเศษเป็นอย่างยิ่งสำหรับทีม Crazy Dial แล้วก็ผมนะครับที่จะได้พูดคุยกับบุคคลผู้อยู่เบื้องหลังของแบรนด์นะครับคุณ Romain Marietta Cheif Product Officer ของ Zenith ครับ
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
We have big team around here.
Yes, of course.
So I try to cover all the brand's milestone, current initiative, and probably about your inspiration insight on the development part. Let's start with this one because I think this year is a major milestone, 160 year. So what does this milestone mean to you? Represent the brands and the watchmaking industry as a whole.
Well, I would say every anniversary is special. 160 is a milestone. It's an achievement.
Yeah.
It's really also representing the whole journey of our brand, which has been founded in 1865. It's an uninterrupted history, so we never stopped really creating watches, wrist watches, pocket watches, but also wall clocks and a lot of other things. We have never moved also from our premium first location in Le Locle, where we still are. The headquarters are still in Le Locle, so already this is quite an achievement. We are a manufacturer, so it means that every single our watches are equipped with our own movements, and we wanted, of course, to celebrate this and to celebrate the idea, the vision of our founder, Georges Favjaco, established the brand 160 years ago. So the idea was to create some watches that represent as much as it can be done the whole journey, those 160 years, which is not easy, of course, because it represents 16 decades.
Yes.
So voilà, you have to think about a package that can represent this, and we wanted to have modern iteration of the actual collection. So those are the blue ceramic models, so each and every iconic chronograph from each and every collection. So we have 3 collection plus 1 this year because we are adding a new collection, which is the GFJ here, but one side of these novelties representing the modernity, the contemporary era, maybe the future of the next 160 years of the brand, and the GFJ is also here to talk about a different chapter, a different era, maybe more like a tribute to the past and to the vision of Georges Favjaco, which was really to create the most reliable, precise watches possible, of course, made in-house manufacture. So this is what we have tried to create with these 4 watches. So it comes as a set, as a box, but you can also buy them separately, and it really represents those 160 years. And now we are working for the next 160 possibly. I hope so.
Yes, this is all about that collection that's have 4, right? How do you balance the heritage and the innovation?
But in the watchmaking industry, it's very important to stay true to yourself, to your DNA, your values, your inner soul, I would say. And when you have 160 years of existence, first you have to be respectful for this.
That's true.
Because we are only amongst the people who are working for that brand along these 160 years. So even if, for example, myself, I'm almost 20 years in the company, but in reality, compared to the whole journey of the brand, it's nothing.
Part of it?
It's something like 17 or 18% of the whole life of the brand, but it's important to be respectful, but it's also important to not repeat the past, create innovation, novelties, to stay up to date. It's also a brand Zenith that has always evolved throughout the different decades, always have been a witness of its time. And the whole idea of the watchmaking industry is to stand the test of time and to be there in the next coming years, decades, and possible centuries. So, finding the right balance is not easy, that's for sure. We have the chance that we can dig into our archives because we never moved. So we have all our archives. We have more than 1 kilometer of archives. We have all the production book of each and every watches that came out of our workshop. We still have the parts, the components, we can still repair, we can still restore. We have that chance to be able to dig into the archives, to take a lot of inspiration. So that's very interesting, creatively speaking, at least for us at product and research and developments. We have been a manufacturer doing movements, so it's also part of our history. We did a lot of fantastic movement over the decades. And then you have to find the right balance to take inspiration from the past, but also create the future and create new bridges and links with maybe sometimes other industry, try to surprise, excite the clients and to attract new people. So it's not an easy balance, but at least I would say for Zenith, when you are such an authentic brand manufacturer, you have that chance to be able at least to dig into the past, the legacy, the patrimony, and then to create the rest, the history and the new chapters of the history.
So you're learning from the past, find the DNA of it.
Exactly.
Remains the DNA.
As we said, experience is the best teacher in reality. And after 160 years, there's a lot of things that we have learned, of course. The predecessors have worked on a lot of things. So we have learned from this, we get inspiration from there. But it's also our role, our responsibility to create the rest of the history, to be part of.
To write a new future.
Exactly,
Right,
to write the next chapters.
Yes. Next gonna be about the famous El Primero.
Yes.
I think we all know that El Primero is high frequency movement, right? What are the challenges in maintaining that DNA while innovating the new future, the new chapter?
But the El Primero is a fantastic achievement for the brand, that's for sure. The El Primero is here since 1969, so 56 years ago it has been created and it's still here.
Yes.
And I insist on that because no one else in the industry are working now with a movement that has been invented 56 years ago. So it's also a demonstration that the movement has been well developed, well created, standing the test of time once again. Of course, on top of it, you have the high frequency, which is something uncommon. It was very uncommon in 1969, but it still is nowadays, 56 years later, because you can see that there's not much brands working with high frequency on a larger scale, on an industrial scale, I would say. Even if we are not producing hundreds of thousands of watches, but it's still, once again, a demonstration of our know-how and experience on that field. And the El Primero needs to evolve, needs to be maintained. This is what we have done very recently. We are now at the third generation of the El Primero. It came out in 1969 as a 3019 PHT, that was the name. Then it evolved into the El Primero 400 in the mid-90s. And starting from 2019 as a very limited edition, but 2021 on a larger scale, industrial scale, we have released the third generation of El Primero, the 3600. We have added the stop second, we have added 10 hours of power reserve. So now with the constant evolution of technologies, computer-assisted technologies, simulation, you are able to improve it, to explore new fields. With new materials, you can also obtain better results. It can be more reliable, more precise. So once again, following the advanced technology that are also now we are able to work with. So our role is to maintain this movement because it has been there since 56 years and it has to be there in 100 years. So we have to maintain it and to make it, to modernize it every time we can, but still be respectful from what it is, from what it was meant to be, and then we will see in the future. I mean, who knows exactly what we are going to be able to explore in the future, technically speaking, to make it even more innovative and modern and contemporary. So that's our role and that's what we do.
Right. One thing that kind of interesting to me, the customization program.
Yes, the Zenith one-off.
How do you position this initiative and what unique value does it offer to the client?
For me, this Zenith one-off, obviously, it's a fantastic playground. First of all,
True.
as a creative guy,
yes.
for me and my team, having the possibility to create watches, unique pieces, bespoke with the customer is a journey on itself. So each and every watch is unique, of course. Let's say committing with our clients that it's going to be totally unique, that no one else will have the same watches. It's an opportunity for a client to get direct access to the brand, to directly speak with the brand representative, but also with the engineers, the technicians, the designer. They can also have the possibility to design themselves a bit the watch. So it's a kind of behind the scene program also that you are able to do, and there's a lot of clients interested about that. We started this program 4 years ago, roughly. And it's working very well. The demand is high. We have started with 3 different models that you can customize. Now we have added 2 more models, included the GFJ starting from 2026. It's going to be also possible because we can do it also. We can provide this possibility to the client. It's a fantastic direct channel to get involved with the community, to discuss directly with the clients. Of course, it's a service that we are offering to good clients within our boutiques. So, for example, here in Thailand, it could be absolutely possible. And we have met some clients over the last days to create their own models.
So it's not about just design, right? It's about movement. They can just...
Yes, also, absolutely. Then created from scratch a new movement is not something that we are offering in reality, because creating a new movement costs a lot of energy and of course financially speaking, it's very high. But it depends. If it's only, I mean, maybe I would say adapting a date with some kind of complication or feature can be done in reality. But if you ask me to do, I don't know, a triple axis tourbillon for unique pieces,
I don't think
if it's not a movement that we have in our catalog, I will say very humbly, this is something we cannot do. I would love to do it, but voilà, it's something that we also have some constraint, of course. Some rules we have framed, let's say, a bit, but there's a lot of customization you can do.
A lot of people they can choose this, that.
Yes, absolutely. Well, you can play around. Yeah, you can. We already have a large, let's say, choice of models. We have a large choice of complication. Then you can play with the case material. You can play with colors into the movement, because we also have a lot of colored movements available. We can also develop a new color. That's also something possible. And then, of course, with the dial, you can animate a lot the watch. Then we can of course engrave. You can choose your strap, special boxes, and it's delivered with not a passport, but a certificate, a certificate of authenticity that really authentify the fact that it's a unique piece. And then of course during the process that roughly lasts for a year normally, depends on the complexity of the watch, but you get at the end of the process a certificate, and you can also get access to pictures, or you can also come to the manufacturer to see the watch which is being assembled or these kind of things. This is also something we can offer if the client can come. Otherwise, we do some pictures for him to see the state of let's say advancement or progressing for the watch itself. So honestly, it's a fantastic tool, of course, to communicate and an access for clients to do his dream watch, I would say.
ใครอยากได้เรือนพิเศษของตัวเองนะครับผมว่าลองติดต่อดูน่าจะได้สิ่งที่เป็นเฉพาะของตัวเองจริงๆนะครับ Talk about this one, the collaboration.
Yeah, we just launched it at the Geneva Watch Days. So it's one of the latest fair in which we that took place in Geneva, and that was our first official participation at the Geneva Watch Days in Geneva, and we wanted to create something special. So the whole idea was to collaborate with another Swiss brands from another industry, which is quite unexpected and surprisingly creative, because it has never been done in the past. No one ever in the watchmaking business has done a collaboration with a furniture company, and it's a Swiss company. And the whole story behind is that when we moved the creative studio where I'm working with my team, we moved from one location to the other. We wanted to refresh all our furniture, table, chair and shelves whatsoever. And we are big fans of USM.
Alright.
So we said to ourselves we would like to buy some USM stuff, so we designed everything. Then we approached USM, we bought everything, and then with the team we started to dig into the company's profile, history, legacy, and we find out that there is a lot of similarities with Zenith. They are 140 years this year, we are 160. They have been established in Switzerland. They never moved also, their company. They're also a manufacturer. They do everything themselves. It's all about precision, robustness, reliability, same as watchmaking in a way. Even our founders, they look the same. They have a mustache and a hat.
Wow.
And also not the founder, but the family after the founder built a house next to the factory, the USM factory, to have a look at the factory. And we also have the same. Georges Favjaco, when he established the brand, also built for himself his house very close to the manufacturer to have an eye on his creation in a way. So there's a lot of similarities. And then the USM principle, because at first USM was, they were producing steel parts, windows, modular system for buildings, and then they miniaturized their ID in the mid-60s, and they created those tubes and the connecting balls, which is very famous for, patented, and that was in 1965, so 60 years ago. So once again, a close relation to us, 160, 60 for them. But in 1965, we were supposed to launch the El Primero movement for the 100th anniversary of the brand, 1865, 1965. But our predecessors, the technicians at that time, they make their life even harder by adding the high frequency movements, vibration per hour and escapement, into this equation. So it was not ready in 1965 and it came out in 1969. So once again, another similarities. One of the highlights of USM is in 1965, and one of the key movement that we have created was in 1969. So we said, okay, look, we have to do something. So we have to talk to them. We have to propose them something.
All right.
And that's what we have done. Then we have contacted USM, we did a presentation, we did some research, and we also created a watch, and we presented them. They were very surprised because nobody has ever approached them in the industry. And they also find out that there's a lot of similarities, and they said directly, yes, we're going to do it. Yes, we are already keen to do it. So the idea was we would like to create a watch that we could have done together in the late 60s. So we started with the Defy case, the octagonal case shape from 1969, which was very robust, very angular, and also reminding you the aesthetic of USM. And then, of course, adding something which has never been done, the chronograph, because once again, the link between 1965 for them, 1969 for us. So this case never had the chronograph inside, so that's what we have done. It's not a revival, so it's not a replica of an old models, a vintage one that we are putting back into production. It's a new creation. It's a new watch that has never existed. And then with some, of course, details from USM, the color, obviously. The USM has 14 different colors, but we have decided to choose four colors. The one that are maybe the more eye-catching one, of course, the green, the yellow, the orange. You have the green and orange here, and the blue. It's also colors coming from the 70s. It really also represents the 70s. So the most obvious details are the colors, but also we have added onto the watch themselves some small details, like on the chronograph hand, we replace our normal, let's say, rectangular paddle, which has the Superluminova, by the connecting ball. So this is a small details that you have on this watch that is, let's say, inspired by USM, and it's a detail coming from USM. And of course, then all the watches are limited, 60 units each, 4 times 60. And they come in a very specific box, which we don't have here.
I saw it already.
Maybe you saw it. And it's a USM furniture.
Yes.
So the idea was for the people to have, of course, a watch, but also, I mean, that's the Zenith part of the collaboration, and then the USM part of it. Apart from the design element here, is a furniture. So the idea was to let the clients having the possibility to go back home with a watch, but also with the furniture. So they get a small furniture which transforms itself into the watch box.
Yeah,
watch
it's not small to me, because if you look at it as a watch box, it's quite big. But you can keep more than just one.
Yes, exactly. So you get delivered with this furniture and the watch box, and inside this furniture we have created some layers. And it's transformed the furniture into a watch storage, and you can store up to 12 watches. So that's the whole idea behind the collaboration.
เหลือแค่ 2 เรือนแล้วนะครับ2 สีมาในไทยแค่เซตเดียวไปแล้ว2ครับใครอยากได้ผมว่ารีบมาพารากอนนะครับ Now let's move to brand vision. In today's competitive in luxury watch market, how does Zenith plan to differentiate?
I think we are already different from the other brands because we are once we are 160 years old. Not all the brands are as old as we are. We are a manufacturer since day one, so we are producing our own movements. We have, of course, the high frequency, but we also introduced the caliber 135, so some other specific, one-of-a-kind movement that no one else has. And then we, of course, have values, and we are an authentic watch brand, let's say, quite honestly humble because we really are passionate about what we do. So our mission is to just continue the journey that our predecessors have done so far. Once again into in being respectful for what they have done because we had so many people working for that brand and we are only a small part of it in the whole journey. But how to differentiate yourself, stay true to who you are, try to create the most beautiful watches possible with the, let's say, the fairest price possible as a manufacturer which is doing everything in Switzerland. Everything is mechanical, everything is made by us. But then create also storytelling by having the possibility to have all these specific movements. So the El Primero, the Elite also is something very special. The caliber 135 is very special. So we also try in our creative strategy to differentiate ourselves with our own difference. Because our difference makes us strong compared to the other, and then either you accept this as a client because it's really in adequation with what you really believe, because at the end the people who are buying us, it's because they believe in the brand, they are trusting us, they love the history, they love what we do. Is aesthetically, of course, it has to be pleasing, but then tastes are everywhere, so then it's a matter of course well-designed and well-proportioned watches. For me, for us, for the team, comfort, ergonomy is very important. It's also very challenging nowadays because clients are getting picky
Yes,
and picky.
they are.
But that's good because it's elevating also the level, the global overall level of watchmaking is really elevating also thanks to this. So yeah, you have to adapt, you have to be true to yourself, authentic, passionate, genuinely, and then at the end, if the message is conveyed the right way, I think it works.
Wow. This one my favorite. As a CPO, which project are you most proud in this recent year? I know it's not just one project.
It's hard to select one, but if I have to pick one which is recent, is the GFJ. This GFJ was something in the making. We decided officially to do something in 2022, but in reality, we have this in mind since more than that. Because the caliber 135 is such a fantastic movement that is also representing an era for the brand, a chapter of the brand which is very important. We have been the most awarded brand within the chronometry prices. We have won more than 2,300 chronometry prizes, which is amongst the competition the best. And this caliber itself won 10% of them. So it's really a legend within the industry. So being able to bring it back, once again, it's also a tribute to what our predecessors have done. And of course, we have a relation with this movement, which is very close to our heart. The team worked very hard to develop a new model, a new aesthetic, with plenty of special details. And you know how hard it is to create a very simple 3 hands. It's more easy to do a chronograph or a complicated watch because in terms of design, at least, there's more possibility to tweak, to create a balance and a layout. But for a 3 hands, it's a bit different.
You made it simple, but look.
Exactly, because it's so simple that there is so many details that the client can look at, and if something is wrong, then it will sound wrong. So the caliber 135 is really the one that I'm really proud of. We have done a collaboration with Kari Voutilainen in 2022. That was the starting point, let's say, because we really felt that the industry was ready to welcome back the caliber 135 because we stopped the production in 1962. We only produced this movement from 1941 to 1962. In 2022, it was the 60th anniversary of the stop of the production of the caliber. So when we brought it back with 10 units, it was already like a major announcement, let's say,
Right.
but it was only the observatory ones, so the one that were never cased, that stayed in our archives. And we had so many requests that we said to ourselves, we need to put it back into production, we need to improve it. Because this movement is old and now we can improve it.
Yes.
The movement was, for example, 40 hours of power reserve and now it's officially 72. So it's almost the double of power reserve. We have added the stop second, which was not present. And it's in a new case, in a new aesthetic and a new collection.
And it's in GPHG.
And
Finally.
And GFJ for us mean, of course, something very important because once again, it's a tribute.
Yes.
It's a new collection that will have the name, the initial of our founder.
Yes.
So that's really paying tribute to his vision of doing the perfect watch.
Free.
And then in the future, this collection will really represent the showcase, the vitrine of what we are able to do, capable of in terms of refined finishing, horlogerie movements, oriented focus on chronometry. So you can expect more in this collection in the future, more models of the caliber 135, more movements, new developments.
Wow.
So that's going to be, it's only the beginning of a new journey for the next 160 years, hopefully, with this collection. So that's the one I'm the most proud of.
Wow.
I would say.
This is one of my favorite too.
But you're not the only one because we have received a very good feedback at Watches and Wonders. Because once again, it's not happening that much in the industry that a brand is putting back a movement into production. I mean, you can count not even on one hand who did it. It's not happening. And why we can do it? Because we still have the technical drawings, because it's also our own movement, so we don't need to buy anything. Everything is there.
Yes.
You just recreate, but you improve. Of course, you can, as I said, you don't repeat the past, you try to improve it.
So comes to the last question. If you had to describe Zenith in one sentence for the new generation.
It's not easy, but
yeah,
Zenith is the or one of the most genuinely authentic manufacturer from day one that are doing exceptional wristwatches with a pricing that is the fairest possible. So I would say that we are the most authentic manufacturer brand that has ever existed with passionate people that love horology. It's not only for watch geeks or watch aficionados. It's for people who appreciate the watchmaking industry and the watchmaking history as a whole. It's longer than one sentence.
Yes,
but
it
it's,
is. But it captures all the things.
I think so.
Has to capture all the things. It's just, wow, this has been an absolutely fantastic conversation with you.
My pleasure.
I would say thank you for to sharing your passion.
Thank you.
And vision. Hearing about these other things, about the future of Zenith, direct from you is, I think it's not inspiring just only me. I think for the audience, for the team. Yeah, thank you so much for this.
Yeah, and I'm thanking you because you are also helping us to, let's say, connect with the community in Thailand. And Thailand is an important country for us. We have been present and distributing watches in Thailand since more than 80 years, and we know that the Thailandese appreciate watches, a community of watch aficionados, and it's our pleasure to be able also to talk directly to them. So I'm thanking you to helping us also to promote and to make the people and the clients appreciate more the brands at the level it deserves.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Can't wait to see you probably pretty soon or next year. Probably in Bangkok.
Whenever you want. I mean, if you come to Switzerland, you're more than welcome to come to the manufacturer.
I will.
You have to.
We will.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for your time.
Pleasure. Kapungka. We are the most authentic manufacturer brand that has ever existed. With passionate people that love horology. It's not only for watch geeks or watch aficionados. It's for people who appreciate the watchmaking industry and the watchmaking history as a whole.